welcome back to the Human Wellness Journey. My name is Sarah Carter, and you're here for our 2024 Meditation Challenge. This is day 7, I want to say. I'm kind of losing track already, which is quick. But I'm so glad you're here, and let's not waste any time. So today, the tip that I want to highlight will be part of the theme for the meditation that we will start here in a moment. And specifically, I want to focus on this tendency that we all have, especially in the beginning of our meditation journey, tendency to get frustrated or irritated with our mind and the tendency to return to thinking. So I'll use some cues today to help us practice gently bringing our minds back to the breath as a focus for finding a way to be a little bit more kind to ourselves through this process, and to make sure that we leave our sessions feeling rejuvenated and energized and not feeling angry or irritable or frustrated. Of course, there'll be days where that's inevitable. However, let's see if we can't minimize that a bit. Let's begin. Now take a moment to find your sits bones and to get comfortable, seated or lying flat on the floor or in a chair, maybe in your bed. And then if you're seated, option also, of course, to stand, begin to stack your spine over your hips, and your shoulders might come back as you stack your torso nice and upright. And then lengthen through your neck. Feel that lift at the crown of your head as you turn your attention inward to your breath. And choose a place for your hands to rest that feels supportive to you today. This might be Diamond Mudra with one palm on top of the other. Your thumbs gently rest together. You could choose an open palm on either knee, just resting upward in the receiving mode. Another option is to draw your pointer and thumb together and allow the other fingers just to fall open. Again, you might rest your hands on your knees for this posture as well, or any other position that your hands feel comfortable. And as you bring your attention to your breath, notice how it feels in your body begin to lengthen and deepen. And then notice the sounds in your space, the feeling of your environment. And as you acknowledge the sounds and presence around you, find a way to mute that a little bit. You turn the volume down slightly as you shift your focus inward. And use a couple breaths to shift your focus in. And then once you're there, begin to scan your body. You could start at your feet or your head, whichever feels intuitively like the space to start today. And then notice all the sensations you can about your body as you scan. Notice the parts of you that feel more relaxed, more open. The parts of you that feel more constricted, more tensed up. Not assigning value to either, just noting. And then as you lean into the breath, what shifts in your physical body, in those areas of rest or tension. And then notice the energy at the lowest part of your belly, inside your hips and pelvis. And draw your attention to that energy center. Maybe give it a little spin as though you have a cylinder or floating sphere in your pelvis. Give it a spin as you draw your attention up to the next level, the low belly, a little higher. Take a breath and notice that sphere. Give it a spin. See how that enlivens it. And then climb on up to the next energy center behind your belly button and feel that. See it in your mind's eye. And give it a spin. And then come on up to your epigastric area, your solar plexus. Again, notice an energy center, a floating ball of light. And give it a spin. It's energizing all the way up. And then come on up to your chest. Feel that sphere of energy. And give it a spin. And then come up to the throat. And notice the sensation of a ball floating, bright light of energy right in the throat. And instead of allowing it to sit, give it a little movement with a spin. And then make your way up to the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. And visualize that sphere. Breathe into that space. And before you shift upward any further, give that energy center a little spin. And then come up to the crown chakra, the top of your head. Visualize that energy there across the entire top of your head. And with this energy center, also visualize access to the energy of the universe, the energy of the sky, the heavens, whatever name resonates with you. And open up the top of your head. Visualize that light shining down. And give that ball of energy a little spin. And then while we're up here with our energy at the head, begin to, in your mind's eye, visualize the interworkings of your brain. And if you get an image initially, just stick with that image and use that image as your map and follow that as the visual for this exercise, appreciation for the mind. We'll just take a moment here to allow the mind to create a list a gratitude list of how your mind, your brain supports you, the different ways in which it shows up for you. And maybe that's an acknowledgement of its quick reaction time, its ability to run this whole system that is your body. And then to more conscious or aware thought, your ability to problem solve, to make decisions, choices, and then carry out functions. And then with a few breaths in silence here, add to your list. All the ways in which your mind, your brain supports you. The things you're grateful for. If you haven't already, give a little gratitude to your memory. Your long-term memory, your short-term memory. And then round out this short little gratitude exercise with a couple more breaths, just to finish. And then I want you to visualize that list on a piece of paper and begin to fold it up to a small square or shape that you feel called to. And fold up that gratitude list into the smallest little paper shape and draw it down towards your chest, your heart center. And just tuck it somewhere in your heart space for later. And bring your energy all the way down to your low belly. And with your attention on your breath, begin to count 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, 3 on the inhale, 4 on the exhale. Continue until you reach 10 and then start over. And allow this breath and counting to hold your attention. Once you reach 10, start again at 1. And see if you can let go of any control you might be taking over your breath pace or length. And allow the breath to flow naturally without your control. And let the natural pace of your breath be the pace at which you count. As your mind wanders off, just gently bring it back, recalling that gratitude list, back to the breath. If you've lost count, just start over at 1. And soften any body areas that might have begun to tense up. And invite the mind back to the breath if it wanders off. And then just like you're redirecting your favorite child friend, bring your mind back to the breath. And it's with appreciation for all that she does for us that we bring the mind back to the counting, to the breath, to this moment. And as though you're just taking it by the hand and gently walking it back, bring your mind in to the quiet for a break from thinking, back to the breath and the counting. Remind your mind we're just here for a few more moments. And let go of whatever thoughts might have come into your mind. Return to your breath and your counting. Now that you've had a chance to turn inward, I want to invite in the possibility of receiving. So in the quiet of the silent mind, the heart is able to open. Take a few breaths to shift consciously to an open heart space. You might visualize a bright light behind your chest bone, behind your rib cage, slightly to the left of center. Visualize that bright light growing. And let that visualization and your breath hold your attention. And with continued gratitude to the mind, open up your heart to the possibility of messages or a gift from beyond. And that might be in the form of a random sensation, a smell, a sound, even a feeling, physical feeling like touch or an emotion. There's limitless ways in which this sort of message could be received, but it's more about being open and then noticing that which spontaneously arrives. Does not feel like it's from within. And just take a couple last breaths here today. Open yourself up to receive. With a quiet mind, you might hear, figuratively hear, an important message or gift. if you've been working on a question, or if you have something you want to know, you might hold that gently and see what shows up. And take a couple of breaths to wrap up the receptive mode here. And then take a moment to encourage your mind to do any thinking that it's been eager to do right now. Still in your meditation, just let go of what might have felt like control over the mind. And then before you open your eyes, bring your awareness back to your environment, in your physical body, back to your space and the sounds around you. And gently wiggle your fingers, your toes. Before you open your eyes, rub your hands together with friction, build some heat, build some chi between your palms. And then as a way to wake yourself back up and bring yourself back to awareness, rub your warm, chi-filled palms across your face, your scalp. And then shake it out, gently bring yourself back. Whew. Thanks for being here today. I'm so glad that we were able to practice this appreciation for the mind and quieting the mind as a way to invite in other transmissions. I would encourage you to practice this, and we'll have other opportunities, of course, throughout this year's meditation challenge. I love receiving things that don't feel like mine, and that's how I can gauge whether it's one of my own thoughts or whether it might be something else, maybe depending on your spiritual or religious practices, that might mean different things to you. What we call it doesn't matter as much as how it feels to you. So again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of today. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow on our human wellness journey. Thanks for being here. Take care.